In today's episode of Bill and Frank's Guilt-Free Pleasures, we talk about a song that may not get the science totally right, but gets the feelings all right.
We talk briefly about Disney and, unfortunately, non-consensual kisses.
And finally, we decide the best way to describe an incredible song is
Impossible. You're listening to our discussion on This Kiss by Faith Hill.
Well, Frank, I think this is a first. Have we ever done a newish country song before?
No, we have talked about covering Shania Twain a number of times, and I don't know why we didn't just jump right into Shania Twain, but I'm really excited about this song. I really, really love this song.
Yes. So I'm going to open with a personal question.
Okay.
What was your first kiss like?
Oh, it was awkward. Oh, it was terrible. I was not a good kisser.
I'm not asking about your performance. How did you feel?
I felt awesome.
Like, what was the feelings inside?
Yeah, no, it was centrifugal motion.
Yeah. For me, it was like electricity poured right through me.
Yeah.
Like I was one of the characters in Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, okay.
And that's what I remember of it. I want to open with a quote from Faith Hill. I hate cynical people who say their first kisses are nothing special. My first kiss with Tim was perfect, exactly as it should be. I love kissing. And I feel this sets up today's song. There is no cynicism in it. It is pure of heart. It is sweet. It is This Kiss by Faith Hill.
It's the way you love me. It's a feeling like this. It's centrifugal motion. It's perpetual bliss. It's that pivotal moment. It's unthinkable. This kiss. Unsinkable. This kiss.
That quote or quotation, I'm not sure. I don't know if you can help me on this one, Frank, but I used to get in trouble for using the word quote instead of quotation.
Oh.
Because quote's a verb and quotation is a noun. But then as time has gone on, quotes become a noun. You're looking off into the distance and I lost you already.
Yeah, I don't understand any of that.
Either way, whatever it was that Faith Hill said before we played the hook of the song, that she hates cynical people.
Yeah.
And that first kiss she had with her now husband, Tim McGraw, was perfect.
Was perfect, yeah.
Yeah. And I love that about her approach.
There's a purity about that, right? Like it's that first kiss, whether it's your first kiss in general or your first kiss with that special someone that you end up with, a lot kind of hinges on that. And to say it's not important, no, it is important.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter if it's bad.
Yeah.
Because it isn't bad. It's great.
But for the person I was kissing, it was really bad for her.
I was trying so hard to make that experience mean so much.
I am so sorry. I didn't know what I was doing. There's
a sweetness in that, right?
Also, I think I've gotten better. I practice on my pillow so often.
This took such a left or right turn. I don't know. But back to the sweetness of the song, it comes off in the production because Faith Hill is a co-producer of this.
Yeah.
And what she brings to it is this light.
And there is a few things that she does vocally in the song that is just, it's everything to me.
Yeah, it is.
It's amazing.
So why don't we start with a little bit of a history of Faith Hill?
She was adopted. I didn't know that.
Yep. As a newborn.
Yeah. And she said that one of her earliest influences was Elvis, and she saw him perform in 76. So this is like towards
the end of his life.
And
it was like at a county fair or something.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I always think that, like, I know later Elvis was not as hip as he used to be, obviously, but I still thought that he did the Vegas residencies and all that other sort of stuff.
Me too. But she wasn't in Vegas, so he came around.
Okay.
And his voice was really good right up until the end. Like, it was actually getting better, according to my Elvis fan friends.
And your dad?
Yeah.
Your dad loves Elvis, eh?
Oh, yeah. And then my friend Ken Gill was arguing for the 1970s, in our view, dilapidated Elvis. He said, no, his voice was getting better.
Oh, okay.
He's just making bad choices.
Yeah, okay.
But that was an influence on her. Now, her family wasn't really into music, but when she met her actual biological mother, she was an artist.
Oh,
and it turns out, like, in her family, the biological family, they actually were into music.
Okay.
And this doesn't speak against her adopted family. They were supportive of her, and they got her out singing at county fairs when she was 8, I think.
In her childhood, she was performing at like churches and rodeos, and it says here, Hines County Jail.
Oh, county jail.
Yeah.
So she did her own sort of, what's his name? Johnny Cash.
Johnny Cash thing, yeah.
It's live from the, what was it called?
Well, it's Folsom.
Yeah, I know, it's her jail.
Hines County Jail.
Live from the Hines County Jail, Faith Hill.
Yeah,
the 8-year-old singing to a bunch of hardened criminals.
I don't know if that's a good decision or not.
Well, there's money in it, I think.
I suppose, yeah. And she moved to Nashville when she was 19 years old. So many artists do to start their singing career.
Yeah.
And I guess she had auditioned to be one of Reba McEntire's backup singers.
Yeah.
And you heard this whole story,
Yeah,
right?
she lost out to some singer.
Yeah, her name was Paula K. Evans.
Right. And then, I mean, just to catch up our listeners who might not know this, what happened to Paula K. Evans? Do you know?
Yeah, she was in a plane crash with Reba McEntire's band, and I think there was 8 people from the band that passed
least
away.
8. I thought somewhere between 8 and 13, but I remember Reba McEntire like performing a few days later at some I don't know, award show or something. I remember it coming out, and it was so crazy.
Yeah.
And so much tragedy and sadness, and that she got up to sing was something. So Faith Hill, you know, I don't want to say that it was like fate or something, because that feels terrible for the person who actually made it and then died.
Well, she said herself that she doesn't think it was a fate thing that her life was being spared. She said, I wasn't a great backup singer, and that I just didn't get the part.
Right.
If she was a better backup singer, perhaps we wouldn't have this song right now, but...
For sure, because if you're a backup singer making good money, why would you put yourself out there when there is a paying gig, right? I mean, famously, Sheryl Crow made the move from backup singer.
Yeah, so did Mariah Carey.
Right, okay. But not every backup singer makes it.
No. Okay. Well, there's that great documentary. What was it called? Like 5 Feet from Stardom?
Yeah, that's right. Sounds like 15 feet?
15 feet.
Yeah. Darlene Love is in that.
Yeah.
But would she have been in Lethal Weapon movies had she made it?
Yeah, that's true. Yes. It's important to celebrate her career in the Lethal Weapon movies.
Yeah. She fought Jet Li in that awful 4th movie.
Oh, I didn't even see the 4th one.
You did a good job there.
Okay.
Right. Well, we should get back to this artist, Faith Hill.
Yeah. So Faith Hill was in 0 of the Lethal Weapon movies.
Yeah, but she was in that Yellowstone prequel.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. She does have a bit of an acting career, obviously.
Yeah.
But this song is from her 3rd album, just called Faith.
Right.
So her first 2 albums are...
Take Me As I Am.
Yep, okay.
Which I thought was a gospel album, but turns out that's not the song. Just As I Am. That's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
It Matters to Me is the 2nd album, and then Faith, of course, the 3rd.
And then Faith, yeah.
And I listened to the first 3 albums in backwards order.
You listened to Faith first?
Faith first, and then It Matters to Me, and then Take Me As I Am. And I enjoyed all 3 of them.
Yeah, we really don't have a whole lot of exposure to country music ourselves. Or at least growing up, we didn't listen to a lot of it. It was always kind of...
frowned upon hugely.
Exactly. Oh, yeah. It's like, my wife left me, my pickup trucks broke down, that whole thing, that whole stereotype that we associated with these songs.
Right.
But
and then we listened to depressing 90s rock songs.
Yeah, alt rock stuff
So much of this podcast is about redeeming our past, too,
I think so, yeah.
And so even though we didn't listen to country in the 90s, we are doing it now, or at least starting here.
Yeah.
And it is awesome. And you know what I found out? I was playing these 3 albums, and then afterwards, I wanted to go back to Shania Twain's 2nd album that Mutt Lange produced for the first time.
Yeah, The Woman in Me, yeah.
Elijah Was Dancing Up a Storm.
Oh, seriously?
And I realized that country music is just a natural sound for kids.
Oh, okay.
And so, I just came up with that right now at the top of my head, but he was having a good time.
Are we embracing the little children inside of us right now?
Yes, totally. We're dancing like a 6-year-old. I don't want to see you dance like a 6-year-old. So if you do, could you go outside of the pub here?
My dancing has been described as marginally better than my first kissing.
I like that we now have, is it a plumb line Or is there...
Oh, it's a bass line.
It's a bass line. Okay. Yeah, better to say bass because that sounds even worse.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we're making our comeback here. We're going to do more country music.
Yes.
We would love to hear from actually listeners. Is there a country guilt-free pleasure? Ideally one that's crossed over into the wider market that we need to be doing.
Because this is a country song, but it's a crossover pop song because it did really well on the pop charts.
Yeah.
This whole album did fantastic.
Yeah. And it wouldn't have been able to do that without the trailblazer that was Timon's own Shania Twain.
Yes. Yeah. Because when did A Woman in Me come out? That was
95.
Yeah, and this was 97 when the album came.
Right, and this same time, Come On Over has come out around 97 as well.
Yeah.
There, we've established that. We have Faith Hill. She was actually married for 5 years, I think. She almost got married super young, I think. Actually, I have no idea. She was 30 when this song came out, or a little older than 30. She got married in her early 20s. And then I think that by the time her first or second album was coming out, the marriage fell apart. And then I think she was, at least on one of the sites I was looking at, she was engaged to a producer who had done her first 2 albums. And then she met Tim McGraw, I think, in the midst of it. Now, I'm not gossipy gossip here, or judgy McJudgy, but Tim McGraw and Faith Hill hit it off.
Yeah.
And pretty quickly, they were a thing, and they were married fairly shortly after meeting.
Yeah.
So by the time this album's come out, she's already had 1 child. She's taken, I believe, 3 years off.
Yeah.
So she's all set to make her big comeback. And she wants to do pop crossover stuff, according to what I read. Some research I did here, Frank, I didn't realize that Tim McGraw's father was Tug McGraw.
Yeah, the pitcher.
Yeah. And he didn't know that Tug was his dad till he was 11.
Oh, really?
And they didn't even really have a relationship till Tim McGraw was 18.
Oh.
When Tug was finally willing to acknowledge that that was his actual son and all this. So both Faith Hill and Tim McGraw have these stories of, you know, she was adopted. He didn't know who his father was for a long time. So there was these sort of connectedness there.
Mm-hmm. And I can't remember when it was, but Tim McGraw had a song. It wasn't really a crossover song. It was a straight up country song, but it played on some pop stations for a little bit called Don't Take the Girl, which is a heartbreaking song.
Oh, man.
Just thinking about it, I'm getting a little weepy here.
Oh, yeah.
But, so he had his own minor crossover success in the early mid-90s as well.
Garth Brooks is early mid-90s, right?
Yes.
And that revolutionized the whole industry.
Yes.
Because we found out that when the SoundScan era started, we found out that people were buying tons of country albums.
Yes.
And before that, they were ignored.
And we found out with Garth Brooks that, hey, country can be fun, actually.
It was totally fun.
It was so fun.
Of course, we were still, digging our heels in.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
We have some work to do.
Yeah.
And we've done it.
It's still in process.
Okay, question for you. This is a bit of a sidebar thing here.
Yep.
What was the first 90s country song that kind of won you over, even if you wouldn't admit it to other people?
Oh, 90s, eh?
Yeah, I just wanted to pick that because I mean Dolly Parton's an easy choice, right?
Yeah,
but I'm thinking newish country 90s where things are happening because there's people in our schools who love country.
Yeah,
and we're established as people who like alt rock or whatever.
Yeah, exactly, right? Because all country is "Achy Breaky Heart" by Billy Ray Cyrus, which is it's a little bit of a ridiculous song.
It is, but I think we're going to be doing that.
I think we might have to.
Okay. But was there a song that you remember in the 90s where you're like, oh, this is good. I'm not going to tell my friends, but I really like this song.
You know what? Garth Brooks had a few that I really kind of liked. There's the one where he's just playing on the piano.
And all the paint's coming out of his feet?
Yeah.
Thunder Rolls.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a good choice.
I think that was it.
Mine, Mary Chapin Carpenter's cover of Lucinda Williams' Passionate Kisses.
Oh.
I love that song.
Okay. I don't know if I've heard that. I probably have, but I just don't recall.
I'll play it after the episode. And you'll love it. And you'll dance like a 6-year-old. All right.
Back to Faith Hill.
Back to Faith Hill. Actually, I want to get back to sad songs that you talked about.
Yeah.
Tim McGraw. And I think this is a really good segue into this song.
Yeah.
Because one of the 3 songwriters on this song was a singer whose album, did you buy at the time?
Yeah, I bought it at the time because I was in university.
Yeah.
In university, I still had my alternative edge.
Yeah.
People can't see me doing my air quotes, but I fully embraced my female singer-songwriter side at that point. Not my female singer-songwriter, but
Yeah.
Female singer-songwriters, I was all about them in the 90s. It really came from Sarah McLachlan's Surfacing.
Right.
That album was just bonkers huge and everyone had it. So that spawned so many things. And Lilith Fair, which it really exposed more and more people to those artists. Anyways, I had a point and I can't remember what it is
It's
now.
Beth Nielsen Chapman's album.
Yes, Beth Nielsen Chapman. And I bought the album because I read a review on it saying it was hauntingly beautiful, but it was some of the saddest songs you'll listen to because it was an album about loss and grief and getting over losing a loved one, because I believe her husband had recently passed
died
away.
of cancer. They were married since the late 70s. Somewhere around there, mid 70s.
So I bought the album, and then when I was researching this song, I saw that she was one of the co-writers. And how do you reconcile that super sad album, which came out in around the same time as this album, to this song, which is just bouncy and poppy and fun? Like, it's a great song and it was a great album. The two just don't connect in my mind.
I mean, part of me wonders if she was able to get all of her grief out in those songs that she wrote. And by the time this album's coming out, she's able to kind of live in these other spaces. And as a songwriter, and I imagine this, and we have friends who are songwriters, you can create your own persona for being a solo artist and then just write whatever you want with other people and take on these other styles that you wouldn't. Like, your brand can be different. And so she comes on as the third songwriter on this song. So we have now the first two who actually started it were, do you got their names there, Frank?
Robin Lerner and Annie Roboff.
Right. We didn't look up the pronunciation. We probably could have if we just looked at a YouTube video. But I do have a quote or a quotation, Frank, from Robin Lerner. She said, Annie and I had gone out to Malibu to write music. So they're Nashville artists, right? But they went to Malibu to get inspired and sit on the beach.
Yeah.
And so she said she needed to desperately soak up the sun. So we lathered up and started messing around with some ideas. So they're on the beach, right? Annie started playing a riff and singing. And then she closed her eyes and the entire melody just spewed forth in one pass. Verse, chorus, bridge, key change, all of it. I wrote the lyric to the chorus and a first verse. So this is how it begins, but they're missing second verse.
The second verse is really key, but the whole song, lyrically, I love the way it moves.
Yeah, oh, totally. And you get a sense that it came together quickly and the song moves quickly.
Yeah.
So it turns out Beth Nielsen Chapman is in town doing photo shoots for the album that you bought.
Yeah, Sand and Water, which is, again, hauntingly beautiful.
Right. And then they meet her and they tell her about the song and she says, oh, can I help finish it? They said, sure. And so she comes in to try to help with that second verse. And you got the story there, right?
That second verse, Cinderella said to Snow White.
Right.
But Beth Nielsen Chapman originally had something along the lines of Cleopatra was a snowflake.
That's correct. That is exactly what she said, yeah.
And it doesn't make any sense, but I guess it was Roboff that insisted that they put Disney characters in the song. So I'm guessing that maybe they went to Disney that day or something like that. Or
well, I got the story.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's come up a few times. So it changes a little bit as people's memory kind of comes and goes on this. But she has this line and they're like, no, we're not putting that in. That doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
And she said, no, but there's something there. Like, there's a reason I'm saying this.
Yes.
So she said for songwriters, you need to follow that instinct.
Yeah.
And it's telling you something you have to translate. And so they all went off to lunch except for her while she kept working on this. And they came back and she was still doing the Cleopatra snowflake. And she's like, oh, no, I'm thinking, no, not Cleopatra, Cinderella. Yeah. It's like, no, it can't be a snowflake. She goes, Cinderella and Snow White. And they said, we're not doing Disney characters. She goes, Disney, that's it. And then she came up with this line immediately. Yeah. Came up with the whole second verse. Yeah. And they're like, okay, this works.
She said it becomes a conversation between two iconic Disney princesses talking about getting kissed, which is the classic sort of Disney thing. I think only one of them in this case actually was kissed non-consensually, though, when she was sleeping.
But it's a life and death situation.
Well, yeah. I mean, Snow White had to be woken up by Prince Charming, right?
What about Sleeping Beauty? Did she have to get kissed too?
Yeah, that was non-consensual.
What's the difference in those two stories? One ate an apple. What's Sleeping Beauty do? Just get cursed too?
Snow White ate the apple.
She ate the apple.
And I think Sleeping Beauty, I can't remember.
I was never interested in Sleeping Beauty, but the Snow White had the 7 dwarfs.
Yeah.
Which don't make it into this song.
No, not at all.
No.
I think that was in a third verse that was probably cut from the song.
Yeah, fair enough.
The idea behind the song was that it was supposed to be more of a pop hit as opposed to a country hit.
Yeah. So they're thinking pop or R&B. So do you have the 2 names that were put out there that they tried to get to sing this?
There are 3 names that I have. And, and it's funny because 2 of them are Brandy or Britney Spears.
Right.
And the other one is Patti LaBelle.
And that's late period Patti LaBelle.
Exactly. Yeah. That's just a bit of a left turn for me there. A little bit surprising.
And it gets denied, and then they think to themselves, well, we could throw on some steel guitars, or a steel guitar. I guess they only do one of them, and then make it more country. And it's hard to imagine it could be anything but country.
Yes. Oh, exactly. Right.
And that's the power of what Faith Hill and her other producer, you got his name? He's produced a ton for her and Tim McGraw and others.
Yeah, Brian Gallimore.
Right. So the 2 of them were able to craft this into something that will always be country.
But still really performs well in the pop market.
Now, did you listen to the 2 versions? There's the pop version and the country version.
I listened to the version that we listened to before this.
And that's the country version.
Yeah.
So the pop version takes out the steel guitar and actually punches down the vocal a little bit.
Oh.
It's kind of strange. And the version that most people will hear today is the country version. But when we were younger, we would have heard that radio version, the pop one, a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But not on TV. So if it was the music video, we'd see the country version.
Yeah. But on the radio, you'd hear the pop version.
The pop version. Sort of like on radio in the 90s where they cut out all the rap parts to any song.
Yeah.
Right? And so as time has gone on, we won't even listen to those 90s radio versions.
Yeah.
As we shouldn't, because the country version needs that steel guitar.
Yeah. Oh, that steel guitar is fantastic.
Yeah. Well, I think it's time we jump into the song proper.
I think you're right, Bill.
It moves quick, so hang on.
Yeah, it starts off, you get that little drum roll and then the guitars and just boom, right into it. And the song itself is only about 3 minutes and 30 seconds.
3 minutes and 14.
Well, you round up to 30.
That would be the worst rounding ever, but I think you'd round down to 3, but that's okay.
Well, tomato.
Centrifugal.
Yes, exactly. The way he said it the second time just sounded dirty.
It did. I should have said centrifugal, but I think that's a British way of saying it. We'll get to that soon enough.
We'll get to that soon.
All right. Here we go. Verse 1. I don't want another heartbreak. I don't need another turn to cry. No, I don't want to learn the hard way. Baby, hello. Oh no, goodbye. But you got me like a rocket, shooting straight across the sky.
I don't want another heartbreak. I don't need another turn to cry. No, I don't want to learn the hard way. Baby, hello. Oh no, goodbye. But you got me like a rocket, shooting straight across the sky.
This is the verse that has the most tension. Wouldn't you say, in terms of, I'm not sure I'm ready for this?
Yeah, exactly. But then that kiss happens.
That's right.
And she's straight across the sky.
That's right. And to quote Pee Wee Herman from Pee Wee Herman's Big Adventure, everyone's got a big butt. And on this verse, it's the butt part where that's where the kiss is.
Exactly.
Oh no, goodbye, but you got me like a rocket. And that rocket is that kiss.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk a bit about the character of this song. She said, I don't want another heartbreak. So she has a backstory.
Exactly. She's been burned by love before.
Right. So she's one of those people, we know a bunch of them who say, I'm done. I'm not going to date anyone. I'm done. And then usually those people are on the verge of meeting the one.
I was told a story recently. It's a friend of a friend, and they refer to her as 7 days.
Oh.
Because she broke up with her boyfriend and said, I'm done dating. I don't want to be in a relationship. I don't want to be with anyone. And then 7 days later, she had another boyfriend.
Do they last?
I don't believe so,
okay.
But
one thing I do have to say here is that the lyrics are super clever.
Yeah.
And so even in this first verse, the baby hello, oh no, goodbye moves so quick, and it's just sort of snappy, and it creates this quick picture but it's also this sort of, I don't know, quick type of dialogue. Like I'm thinking those David Mamet films.
Yeah.
That the characters could talk so quickly.
Yeah, there's frantic and manic kind of a thing.
So let's head into chorus, though. We do that, Frank? We're ready to? Okay. Because we have shooting straight across the sky, and it moves right to this. It's the way you love me. It's a feeling like this. It's centrifugal motion. It's perpetual bliss. It's that pivotal moment. It's impossible. This kiss, unstoppable. This kiss.
It's the way you love me. It's a feeling like this. It's centrifugal motion. It's perpetual bliss. It's that pivotal moment. It's impossible. This kiss. Unstoppable. This kiss.
And the chorus has just the most words, but they happen so quickly.
It's amazing.
When was the last song that you heard the terms centrifugal, perpetual, or pivotal?
Definitely centrifugal is only in this song.
Yeah.
Only. And I think maybe there would be afterwards someone who tried to do it, but this song lays the template for wordiness and cleverness. And I think there's some criticism in the country world that this is a little too clever.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
At least that's what
I like
Chapman
how clever it is.
Yeah, me too. I like that stuff. I also like that it's the way they talk about centrifugal motion, which drives my science friends crazy.
I read a post online saying, well, they really mean centripetal.
That's right. And the way that she pronounces, I mean, I want to say centrifugal, but I also realize I'm not a physics guy. She says it almost so quickly that you could mix up the two words. But I have the Greek derivation here, Frank.
Jeez.
Yeah, no. Here we go. Centrifugal is center fleeing. So I contacted our friend Luke Landry, who explained it as if you're driving a car and you kind of make a left turn and your body wants to kind of go in that direction. Yeah. It doesn't, because you got the car, the
holding
door,
you in.
Holding you in.
Yeah.
Even though you aren't actually being thrown that way, it's a trick. So it's not a real thing. Centrifugal. He refers to it as a fake force. And then he said, you feel them pushing on you because you want to keep on keeping on, to quote Joe Dirt, he said. But it's not real. Yeah. Now, the idea is that you would spin out, I think, is another way, whereas centripetal is center seeking.
Yeah, it's pushing you into the middle.
Into the middle. And so which would make more sense in the song? Or would it, Frank?
Yeah, I think we're getting too science on this one. I think the centrifugal motion makes sense to me because it's got you spinning. It's got you flying. Yeah. Like there's language in the song about her flying and floating away. So I think centrifugal makes sense.
I was thinking that too, that the kiss actually spins her out into the sky.
Exactly. It's not that she's moving away from him. It's this euphoric kind of moment.
Right.
It's more of a metaphor as opposed to an actual thing.
Right.
She's not actually spinning away.
Now, one of the problems was the pivotal moment where it's pivoting around something.
Okay, but that's not okay. It's again, stop sciencing this thing. It's not, we're not pivoting around this moment. It's pivotal in the sense that the moment itself is so important. It's a benchmark moment in life.
Do you think Chris Martin was referring to this in that song called The Scientist, where the scientist was thinking so much about that stuff that he wasn't able to find love?
I think he thought about science so much that he forgot how to write a good song.
But back then, there was so much hope.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, he needs to get some centripetal. I can't pronounce these things. I read this great post by a physics teacher who talked about certain words that don't exist. And it was like centripetal, where you're trying to just blend the two together.
Yeah, okay.
And then you can hedge your bets. So even if the science may or may not be right, the feelings are true.
Yeah.
And that's what we're all about here, is feelings.
Yeah, this song doesn't have to science good. It just has to feel good.
And I want to, pass that on to when we talk about musical terms. We don't always get it right, but we get it right. Am I right?
Yes. We never get it right.
But we get it right.
We've
done our physics thing. It's the way you love me. It's a feeling like this. And it goes on. It's perpetual bliss, right?
Yeah.
I just love centrifugal, perpetual, pivotal.
Yeah.
Like you already brought up, but it moves so quick and she's able to say these words that sound great. So a wordsmith loves the sound of something, where a good poet, rather, loves the sound of a word and just plays with it and luxuriates in it.
Yeah.
And this song luxuriates in the words.
And then it's impossible.
Oh my goodness.
And that is everything.
Everything. The big question is, was the in the original song that was presented to them, or did Faith Hill and Byron Gallimore, I'm going to mess his name up. I feel really bad about this because there are producers out there who do things, but once I heard Faith Hill was a producer, I'm just going to keep talking about her as though she was the primary producer. Either way, somebody thought was a good idea.
And I love it because it's not a sigh of relief, but it's
contentment.
Yes. She's remembering, she's thinking about it. It's just like, oh, that was so amazing.
Was it like the where you fall back into like a bed that's really fluffy, or a beanbag chair, or maybe not a pool because that's kind of surprising, but
the
feathers,
the refreshingness or something like that, or just something comfortable.
Oh yeah. I'm in a big thing of leaves.
Yeah, there's slugs all over those leaves. You don't that's
What do you fall into that gives you the
I don't.
What, like a glass of water?
I don't know. I don't fall into things and go,
Okay. I really...
Do you?
Yeah, I think I fall into chairs at the end of the day and go,
no, but that's more of a sigh of just like, it's over. It's relief. Like this is more, like you said, contentment.
Yeah. No, I'm going to have to seek that out. I think jumping in a pool gives me an but it's me yelling doing a big cannonball.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. This went nowhere.
No, exactly.
Fast.
It went into the back of that beanbag chair or whatever.
I don't know why I'm thinking of the bean. It's a Sonic the Hedgehog. I watched it a lot.
Yeah, okay.
He's got a beanbag chair. Okay. This kiss is unstoppable. And you know there's going to be a lot of uns and ims and there's a phrase for it. I almost wanted to say superlatives, but it's not quite that. There are things that have the prefix im. There's something.
Okay.
But we need Bruce Otterholm here, our friend and our English teacher from high school, to tell us how to say that.
Exactly.
All right, Frank, we're moving fast.
Are we?
Yeah, totally. The song is. Yeah. Verse 2. Cinderella said to Snow White, "How does love get so off course?" I guess things aren't going well for them. This is before they fell asleep and all this. "Oh, all I wanted was a white knight with a good heart, soft touch, fast horse. Ride me off into the sunset, baby, I'm forever yours."
Cinderella said to Snow White, "How does love get so off course? Oh, all I wanted was a white knight with a good heart, soft touch, fast horse. Ride me off into the sunset, baby, I'm forever yours."
That is that key second verse that they couldn't get, right?
Yeah.
But they got it.
That second verse, it's so unique.
And it's so funny, right? The fast horse is so clever. Yeah. And how quickly it moves, right? Good heart, soft touch, fast horse.
Yeah.
Sounds almost like something you would put on a personal ad. What are you looking for? The following three things.
Yeah.
It's perfect. And it makes fun of things in the right sort of way too, right? What do you want? Right off into the sunset. I need a fast horse. Get me out of here.
I just need Prince Charming, and that's all I want.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah.
And it works because it's about the kiss. Mm-hmm. Even though Sleeping Beauty would have been better than Cinderella, same amount of syllables. Let's do this. Cinderella, Sleeping. They could have done Sleeping Beauty.
They could have,
but she'd be sleeping.
Not after she got non-consensually kissed.
I know. It's a tough one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Problematic.
Yes, it is problematic. All right, carry on from there, Frank.
Yeah, we jump into the chorus, the second chorus.
Yeah.
And it's almost exactly the same, except it's that pivotal moment. It's unthinkable.
Yes. This kiss,
unsinkable.
Just like that Molly person from the Titanic.
The unsinkable Molly Brown.
Yeah. Again, just clever writing. A lazy writer would just repeat chorus, or an AI machine would. ChatGPT wouldn't be able to do this.
Let's not say a lazy writer, because so many choruses just repeat themselves.
Yeah, well, we're not going to tell those choruses what we just said about them.
Okay, but you're calling all writers who just repeat the chorus lazy.
Well, they're not even going to hear it because they just hit repeat.
Well, also, they don't even listen to the podcast.
No, and they sink in their beanbag chairs and go, ah. Oh, that felt good. All right. Not much more to say other than I appreciate just a couple word changes.
Yeah, and I want to go back to the fact, and when we say, what's your favorite part of the song? I think we all know what mine is. That is everything.
It is everything. And that's what the song is. It's an song.
Yes, exactly.
And it's just playful. So when I say clever, I actually mean playful. It's a playful song.
Yes.
It's playing with words.
Mm-hmm.
That would anger our scientician friends, but it would anger me, I guess, too.
Scientician or scientologist?
I just want to say words that anger them even more.
Well, scientician, that's a word that I say all the time.
Did I say scientician?
Yeah, you did. It's akin to my represemble.
That's bonkers. Okay, on we go to the middle eight, Frank. See what I did there?
No.
Well, I didn't call it a bridge. I called it a middle eight.
I don't know what that is.
Well, apparently it's the same thing as a bridge.
Then why don't they just call it a bridge?
It's a good question. So I read it was middle eight in a UK article on this.
Yeah.
And it says bridge on Genius. And I was going for a drive to pick up a stove with our good friend Mike V, who's been on the podcast a few times. And he said to me, I'm not sure, but I think the middle eight is the same as the bridge. I just want to state it out here. The middle eight is the same as the bridge.
Then just call it a bridge.
Or a middle bridge. There might be several bridges, Frank. Bit of a key change here too, apparently. Yeah. You can kiss me in the moonlight, on the rooftop, under the sky. Oh, you can kiss me with the windows open while the rain comes pouring inside. Oh, kiss me in sweet slow motion. Let everything slide. You got me floating. You got me flying.
You can kiss me in the moonlight, on the rooftop, under the sky. Oh, you can kiss me with the windows open while the rain comes pouring inside. Oh, kiss me in sweet slow motion. Let's let everything slide. You got me floating. You got me flying.
And that goes back to the whole centrifugal motion, right?
Right.
Because when you explained or described your first kiss and you had the quickening with all the lightning and everything.
Yeah, totally.
But that's that whole force of nature. It's almost out of body.
Yeah. Also, every line here is like dream Hollywood kiss sequence.
Exactly. In the moonlight, on the rooftop.
Basically, Sixpence None the Richer stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe there's kind of a template made for songs about smooching.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah. We've talked about this, haven't we? I guess with the Kiss Me episode.
Yeah.
All right. Now, we're only at 155 by the bridge.
Yeah.
Now, the song is 314. So think about how much is spent on the chorus repeating. They know where the money is.
Yeah.
So they move fast. We are under 2 minutes. The song is pretty much done in terms of bridges taking to chorus to outro, but they're going to luxuriate in This Kiss chorus.
Yeah, this chorus comes through and it repeats a couple of times through, but they change the words again.
Yes.
A few times because apparently they're not lazy.
Right. I triggered something there. We get the backing vocals, which includes...
The backing yes, absolutely. The backing vocals are so key in this.
Beth Nielsen Chapman, one of the backing vocalists.
Yep.
There's a guy in there somewhere too, right? I don't know his name, but they're doing that. The way the ahs now are the backing vocals.
Mm-hmm.
And what are the changes? We got subliminal and criminal, which I love. I love that they just can play with words that rhyme, where it's like, okay, who rhymes subliminal with criminal?
Well, it's like the time that T-Pain rhymes Wisconsin with mansion.
I think it actually is quite the opposite of that, but sure.
No, T-Pain made it work.
He made it work. This one just works so well. I think what I like about country music, even though this is written as a pop tune, although it was written by people who are in the country world, so they're writing for pop, but they're all from Nashville. All three of them are from Nashville. And they're saying, I'm writing a pop song. Sorry, guys, you actually wrote a country song.
But
nice try.
Nashville was known as basically that songwriting hotbed, right? Like people go to Nashville to be songwriters. Right. And that's it.
Right. Still, I like to think all of them as country singers.
Yeah, okay.
It's the way you love me. It's a feeling like this. It's centrifugal motion. It's perpetual bliss. It's that pivotal moment. It's subliminal.
the backing vocals. So on that first line of the chorus, it's the way you love me, the way. Those little echoes that they have in there. And after the first, it's centrifugal motion, the that they have in the background, it just fills everything out so nicely. It just makes everything feel so much dreamier.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Playful.
Yes.
Everything's so playful. I imagine the producing of this was probably pretty intense, but they knew they were making something pretty special. They must have.
Wait, it wasn't done in the studio?
The song? Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't know. Did I not say it?
Well, you said it was intense, so they were camping when they were doing this?
Oh, that's such a bad joke. That's so bad.
It's so good.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, okay. That's so bad. Oh, that's so bad. So it continues on.
Yeah.
I do kind of wish it was longer because at the 3:10 mark where she starts to say, it's the way you love, like she starts playing with it, right?
Outro, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I imagine, and I hope in concert, that it just extends so you could see her play around the chorus because she's such a good vocalist.
Yeah.
She could do some fun things.
Yeah, the playfulness with the words, and there's a lot of words in this that aren't standard pop song words.
No. Until this moment, I guess.
And we had already mentioned centrifugal, perpetual, pivotal, not typical pop song words, but subliminal even, right?
Oh, yeah, totally.
The usage of the wordery in this is just, it's great.
It's like you have a bunch of enrichment students writing a song, and suddenly in my head I thought, no, they can't be because they're not quoting Monty Python. but like enrichment students that don't drive you crazy.
Yeah.
So they love words and they love love.
And this song loves love.
It loves kissing. And kissing is
kind of fantastic.
Yeah.
I kind of like it. I think I've gotten a little bit better.
Okay. Are you doing like an ad?
I might be.
Oh, the Bill and Frank Guilt-Free Pleasure kissing booth. Only man by you. There's obvious reasons I can't do it.
Frank Pearson, the okayest kisser in North St. Catharines.
It's centrifugal motion. It's perpetual bliss. It's that pivotal moment. It's subliminal. This kiss. It's criminal.
Frank, the music video.
Yes.
Do you like it?
It's fun. It's very Georgia O'Keeffe.
Okay, yeah. I got bored with it really quickly.
Feel like it could have been more. I
yeah.
will say that Faith Hill went through 9 costume changes in it.
It's true. And poor Faith Hill is experiencing a lot of body changes at this moment. So,
yeah, because she was pregnant with her second child at the time.
So she fit into the clothes 2 days earlier. And when they went to shoot the video, she'd grown, right?
Oh,
so
seriously?
they had to keep changing things. So if you watch it, she barely moves.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I think it's because everything's fitting so tightly.
Yeah.
And so they have other people jumping around. And when she performs this at the Country Music Awards, it's 2 days before she gives birth.
Oh, yeah.
So she's just in the center of some flower.
Yeah.
But she has this sort of, I don't know how you describe it. She's so pretty.
She's very pretty. She glows.
She glows and she has a way of like singing with her eyes.
Yeah. She's very expressive.
Yeah. And it's mesmerizing as she's singing, and it feels so
it feels pure.
Yeah, it just feels so G-rated family, I guess. Although in the video, they got some pretty young people kissing on the lips, and I was kind of uncomfortable.
So the very first kiss, when it was the younger kids, he goes in for the lips, but at the last second, she kind of turns and gets it on the cheek.
Okay, that's good. That's probably good for the rating system.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I guess it's following the same couple as they get older.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And I guess that's sweet, I guess. They never met anyone else. They only have just the two of them.
How do you know unless you try other...
I know, I'm just kidding. I'm just trying to be negative. I can't be. This video
You can't be negative with this song, though.
Yeah, everything's on a blue screen except for one part. I think they're some sort of bouncy... I don't know if it's not a mushroom.
It's all on a blue screen.
Yeah.
Because that mushroom wasn't real. That's all CGI. Before I rewatched the video... Because I remember the video from when it came out in the 90s, and I thought it was very similar to Rome by the B-52s. Kind of has the same feel.
Because they're jumping all over the place, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the Rome video, I think, better.
Yeah.
And I just didn't like watching this. I remember when it came out, I remember liking the song, even though we heard it every hour.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It was all over the place.
It was all over. I can't believe it didn't make it to number 1 because they played it all the time. Yeah, it doesn't matter because they play it forever. The album sold 6 million copies and more because we're now in the streaming age. So I guess it sold 6 million maybe. And since, 2006, another 200 or 300 copies.
Yeah.
I do have in my head a better music video. So I think of the Shut Up and Dance With Me song, which maybe will be an episode someday.
Oh, that's a great song.
I love that song. And I think there's a fan-made video of it where they just take clips of all these old Hollywood movies.
Oh,
and I feel like a really good version of this song has clips from kissing scenes.
Like classic kissing
Classic scenes. All the way up.
Like the Top Gun scene.
No, not the Top Gun scene.
Oh.
Absolutely not. The Top Gun scene that's horrible. Maybe in a Meatloaf video you could do that, but that needs to have like scary music.
Yeah.
But this could be just all the scenes of great kissing in movies.
Yeah.
What is one of the great kissing scenes in movies?
They didn't kiss in Casablanca, did they?
No, but there's an implied kissing maybe. I think there's like a scene where the light goes on and off. Not like the Burt Lancaster on the beach kissing.
Oh, From Here to Eternity.
Yeah, that's more Top Gun-ish to me.
That's more Top Gun-ish, yeah.
Did Tom Hanks kiss Meg Ryan in Sleepless in Seattle?
I want to say yes.
Yeah, I have a feeling they didn't somehow.
Yeah.
Oh, how about the Notebook? The kiss scene in the Notebook.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Ryan Gosling and Rachel McAdams.
Yeah. All right, we did a really bad job.
We did a really bad job. I like how we tried to improve the video and made it exponentially worse.
Yeah. Sloth kissing Chunk in Goonies. I got a great video.
Scene, wasn't it?
I might need to take a few weeks off work just to work on this fan-made video.
The one thing I do like about the video, though, is it's all butterflies and flowers and mushrooms and all this other sort of stuff. It's implying that the kiss is a force of nature.
Yeah, and it takes you to another world.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Like that sort of imagery.
And I do remember my first kiss felt like I was just like in another world.
Oh, okay.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good thing to go back to.
Yeah.
I don't even know how well I did. That's not even a question.
No, I was super self-conscious about my performance.
Well, this is the problem with our modern culture and these songs about kissing.
Yeah.
Sorry. They just undermined our whole entire podcast.
I think we did, yeah.
No, Faith Hill's right. That's cynical. And I'm not going to be that way because our podcast is not cynical.
No, it's not.
We don't do irony. Only sweetness here.
Exactly. And this is a sweet, sweet song.
It is. It's right up our alley. All right. So there was my idea for another music video. We haven't done this for a while. I'm just doing categories right now with you. Okay.
I figured that out.
Who else could sing this song?
I mean, right off the hop, you say Shania Twain because they came out in around the same time, the country pop crossover stuff.
Easy crossover. Yeah. Got any left turns for us?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a contemporary artist that can sing the song, but I'm starting to realize that I have no idea who a contemporary artist is.
We lost it.
I think Taylor Swift could sing this song.
I think she could do it at a concert, but it doesn't interest me because it would maybe expose her in terms of, she's a great artist.
Yeah.
But Faith Hill was this special voice that Taylor Swift isn't the same. She does her own thing.
But Taylor Swift, if you listen to her song, she works a lot of words into her songs as well. So I think she could get away with it in terms of being able to get through all the wordery and everything. I think she could absolutely do a version of this song.
I'm ready to do a Bill and Frank callback.
Okay.
I think Michael Bolton would do a great version of this song.
I was thinking about bringing back could Michael Bolton sing this?
And I think we just answered it.
I think we did.
We wish you well, Michael Bolton.
Yeah.
We miss you.
We do. We should talk about him more.
All right, Frank. Mixtape.
All right. I'm interested to hear what your theme is. Mine's pretty basic.
Okay. I had 3. I originally had this idea of doing female country vocalists of the 90s that crossed over.
Okay.
And then I thought about doing songs about centrifugal or centripetal force.
That wasn't it, but go on.
No, I know. And then I realized, of course, it's not it. And then I thought, what about songs that just do bad science? And so I texted our friend Luke Landry, who we talked about earlier. and started sending him lyrics. He goes, please, like basically said, oh, please stop. This is horrible.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
he helped out with some of these songs.
But the science in this isn't bad.
Yeah. So I'm not going to, I will leave it up to the listener, I guess, right? Here are some songs that may do science bad. He sent the following one. I think you're going to love this, and it's going to make you very angry.
Okay.
Okay, first one is going to be Vanessa Williams, Say the Best for Last, because sometimes, Frank, the sun goes round the moon.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Another one, Just as the Sun Rises in the East. That's Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Frank, the sun doesn't rise.
Doesn't it?
No, the earth spins and turns around it.
Okay, but it rises in the context of the earth being the center of the universe.
All right, next up.
Which I guess is bad science.
Yeah. Black hole sun. Won't you come and wash away the rain? Black holes don't wash anything.
No.
They suck it all up.
Also, the sun can't escape, like light can't escape from a black hole, so.
And then Jungle Love by Steve Miller.
Yeah.
If I may read just a verse from it, that is just incredible. You treat me like I was your ocean. You swim in my blood when it's warm. My cycle's a circular motion. Protect you and keep you from harm. And then it goes on. You live in a world of illusion. Talks about peaches as well. Go figure, Steve Miller. And then Luke just sent me a text saying, that's disgustingly wrong. What am I listening to?
I don't understand what's wrong about it.
He's talking about swimming in blood and warmness and circular motion, keeping warm.
That's just gross.
It's
not
true.
Wrong.
Question for you. You spin me round like a record. If you're spinning somebody, is it like a record or is it more like centrifugal motion?
I think it's not to be taken literally. I think it's a metaphor.
All right. Give me your mixtape there, Frank.
Are you going to say the song, Dead or Alive?
Yeah, that's right.
Spin me right round.
Yeah, Dead or Alive. Yeah, there we go. Okay.
All right. My mixtape is, like I said, pretty basic. Country pop crossovers. And I know that right now we're living in an era where there are so many...
It's incredible.
Country pop.
Hip-hop country.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. But this is more of a tour through a little bit of history. So we're going from the 70s through to the 2000s. So country pop crossovers. Rhinestone Cowboy by Glenn Campbell.
I love that song.
I know, right? 9 to 5 by Dolly Parton.
You know I love that song too.
Yeah. And the next couple come from the era when this song came out. You're Still the One by Shania Twain.
Oh, what a song.
Amazed Lone Star.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You remember that one?
Yeah, I do.
And finishing it with Love Story by Taylor Swift.
Oh, yeah. I've come to appreciate Taylor Swift more as time has gone on.
Good.
Yeah. You're a big fan.
I'm a pretty big fan.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I'm a giant fan. I'm not a Swiftie. I wouldn't classify myself as a Swiftie, but I can appreciate Taylor's music.
Can you explain those 18 bracelets on your wrist right now with all those different words?
They're for my friends. They're all friendship bracelets.
Okay.
Now, I know that I've overemphasized my favorite part of the song.
Okay.
It's the... What's your favorite part of the song? What part of the song, Bill, brings you joy?
I love hearing her just shout out, this kiss.
Yeah.
And then unthinkable, unsinkable, impossible. I know that didn't work there. But I just love hearing this kiss. And she shouts it out. And I can hear things. I hear... It's the way you love me, darling. And it just keeps repeating.
Yeah.
That chorus is truly unsinkable in my brain.
Yes.
I love hearing it. And, I never thought of this song as a guilt-free pleasure, but it totally is. And it exists there. And I never got tired of hearing it.
Yeah.
And they played it all the time.
All the time. I remember when this came out and I was in university, I had a friend who listened to pretty hip music. And surprisingly, she loved this song. I thought it wasn't cool enough to be liked, but she was like, no, this song is like a straight up great song.
The thing I remember about it is she had that short haircut.
Yeah.
And it was like this new haircut. And then everyone had her haircut.
Yeah.
And it was so cool.
Yeah.
Everything about it was so cool. And the fact that she was pregnant and singing it also had this sort of...
Yeah, it's like, look what I can do.
It's just a goodness to everything. Everything about it is good. And this is in the 90s where we had all these late night critical love thrillers.
Yeah.
All behind those glass bricks.
Oh, yeah.
And this just breaks through it. It's like, well, forget that.
Yeah.
This kiss. Let's talk about something positive. Frank, you got the top 10?
Yeah. So the song peaked at number 7. It went to number 1 on the country charts. But on the Billboard Hot 100, Number 7, the week of October 10th, 1998. And this is crazy to me because it started on the charts March of 1998. It was on forever.
I would be interested to see where it rose. I bet it just hung there forever.
I think it said that it was on the charts for 48 weeks.
Amazing.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Number 10, When the Lights Go Out by Five Ive. Do you remember that? Because I had the number 5, then IVE.
Yeah, this just angers me. Okay,
I know.
Next one.
Time After Time by Inoj. I don't remember that at all.
No, I remember Timmy T's Time After Time.
Yeah.
And of course, Cyndi Lauper's.
Yeah. My Way by Usher, number 8.
Yeah, okay.
This Kiss, Faith Hill, number 7. How Deep Is Your Love by Drew Hill.
Is it a cover of Bee Gees?
I don't know.
All right.
But I think it debuted at number 6, which is bonkers to me. I'll Be by Edwin McCain. Nope, we're doing this song one of these days. I love this song. This song is so good.
Good to have shining soldiers out there. Okay.
Crush by Jennifer Page at number 4.
Yes.
I Don't Want to Miss a Thing by Aerosmith, number 3.
No.
Yeah, you're going to say that again when number 2 is One Week by Bare Naked Ladies.
Oh, baby. There's so much hatred out there for that song.
Oh, I know.
I don't know how I feel. We got lots to work through.
Yeah. And then number 1 was The First Night by Monica.
Well, man, I don't even remember that song.
I vaguely
I'm mad about it. I'm mad about that.
Well, how did Faith Hill not go to number 1?
This is ridiculous.
That's just bonkers to me.
It just means that Billboard is phony, just like all the other things I don't like out there. Okay, Frank, I don't know. That left a sour taste in my mouth.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Well, blame Billboard, not me.
Yeah.
This kiss, it's criminal. This kiss, it's the way you love me, baby. The way you love me, it's the way you love me, darling.
We want to thank you for joining us for our walk through This Kiss by Faith Hill.
And what a fun, breezy, positive, just delightful song that this is.
And here at Bill and Frank's Guilt-Free Pleasures, we're okay if you don't get the science right or the musical terms right. We just want you to get the feels right. Because I'm sure you were probably thinking about when you had your first kiss. And it may not have been perfect in the sort of textbook sense. But I'm sure you felt that electricity pulse through the entire world too. And how, Frank, would one describe that?
I think it's impossible.
And we hope you feel that way at the end of every single episode of Bill and Frank's Guilt-Free Pleasures.